Well, hello everybody. I'm back in greenhouse number one, and today I'm in here for a very specific reason. It's because of one very important person. It's one of our young gardeners. His name is Eli, and I want to tell you a little bit about the plants that he picked because he did a lot of research on what plants he wanted this year, and there's one plant that he picked out of all of them that's his number one pick. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Eli's pick, and if you're watching and you have a chance, if you want to leave a comment, say hi to Eli, let him know that we really love that he's out there gardening, and we also appreciate all the work that he does for his grandparents, helping with their garden, because they were very appreciative for every minute that he spends in the garden with them, and so they love that. So the plant I'm going to tell you about, Eli picked an osteospermum. We also call them osteos. They're also called African daisies. You'll recognize them when I show them to you. But he didn't pick just any osteo. He picked the osteo of the season. It has a very special name and has some very specific characteristics. So let me introduce you to the plant that Eli picked. I think we're going to start calling it Eli's plant because the name is really long. So let me switch the camera around. Okay, let's give it a second here. Okay. This is it. Now it's just opening, so it's not fully open yet, but it's called the Flower Power Spider Pink Osteo, and really I think it's really more purple than it is pink, but that's okay because I think Eli likes purple more than he likes pink anyway. But anyway, you'll see the unique characteristics here is in the petals. So they're very narrow, and then they have kind of a spoon end, and this is going to open up quite a bit more. You can actually see the picture there shows you a nice example. So that's an osteo with a spoon petal. It's the only one we have. We did try to get more, but we never have any luck getting this variety, but this year we did, and it just happened to be the one that Eli was most interested in. So let me tell you a little bit more about some of the other osteos we have. So Sunshine Beauty is one that we're just getting some buds on it, but you can see the gradient and the leaf pattern, and these all open up with really tight petals, and they kind of open up and thicken as they get a little bit bigger. So this is more indicative of what they look like. This is called the Sunset, and it's got that nice dark center with the yellow edges. And osteos are really pretty easy to grow. They like their water. Deer and rabbits tend to choose everything else before they pick an osteo, so that's kind of nice. Now here's a good example of how they start with the tight petals, and then they move into a little bit wider, more daisy-like flowers. And we're going to go over here. So this one is the Voltage Yellow, this one is the Zion Red, and this is super dark. And like I mentioned before, a lot of times on camera reds tend to not look true to color. These are really a rich, almost burgundy color. You can't really see that quite in here. So thanks for giving Eli the thumbs up, everybody. He's the guy who's getting us here and getting us talking about osteos today. He's our young gardener. So go ahead and leave in the comments a little comment to him. So let's see. The other one that I'm going to show you is the Blushing Beauty. It's just getting ready to open, but it looks like this. So that's another gorgeous one. And then over here we have the Tradewinds Rose. It's a really dark, rich pink color, so great one. Now these are all kind of more the upright and mounding varieties, but over here on this side we have two trailing varieties. So we have this one here, which is the Deep Purple. So it has that deep purple center and a little bit lighter petals, and this one stays more flat, and you can actually see the growing habit of this one spreads out more. It's a lot better for, say, if you want something a little bit more trailing. Whereas these over here, you can just see the difference in how upright they're growing. A little more of that upright branching as well. So just showing you the difference there. And then we also have the Blushing White, which has, again, that nice purple center, and then more kind of whitish, light purple edges. So that's another one. Let's see, does it have any other name? Oh, they're calling it Osticade something or other. Anyway, it has a complicated name for that part. So those are the osteos. I'm going to show you the Voltage Yellow again because that was the first one to pop open, and it's got that really bright color. And then I will just run over to the lantana because they're right here. Gosh, that pink is really nice too. So we do have some white lantana. This lantana, the white one is a little bit more trailing than, say, the red and orange and yellow. We're sold out of the rose, I'm afraid. So those are the Osteos. Keep them in full sun. Keep them in a big enough pot, because if you don't, you're going to be watering them every single day, multiple times in the summer. Otherwise, they do pretty well. They like the heat, and they don't mind it too dry otherwise, as long as they have enough soil. Now I'm going to tell you about a couple other things that we have specifically for Mother's Day. We have a couple of baskets that I can tell you about, and I'm going to show them to you just so that you can kind of get more familiar with them, and you can see what size they are now, because I know that's a big thing when you're buying like plants like this, and if you're going to give them as a gift to mom, you do want probably flowers on it. You want it to look really good. So first one I'm going to tell you about is right here behind me. This one here, I guess I should probably do the flip around. This one, oops, not yet. Okay, this one here, we call this one the Foolproof Folly, and the reason why we call it that is because the two plants in here are super easy to grow. So you will not be stressing your mom out if you give her one of these baskets. The trailing mizu, it's kind of got these succulent-like leaves, so you don't have to worry too much about watering that one, and it can take full sun, full shade. The Surefire begonias in there also take full sun, full shade, and they're pretty drought tolerant, so you don't have to worry too much about those. So that one is, again, it's a great one because you don't have to take a lot of care into it. They self-deadhead. If you wanted to, you can always trim the mizu. That just keeps coming back if it's starting to, drop into your hair or something like that. So really good option. And again, it's the one that mom won't have to do a lot of work with. Some of the others that we have are going to be our color combos. We've had these out for a while, but I'm going to show them to you so you can see what size they are and what kind of flowers are blooming in them. This one's called Ball Game, and it's 3 different petunias, red, white, and blue. And so you can see these are going to be the bigger flowers, really bold. You can definitely see them from, the porch. If they're on the porch, you're going to see them a lot of times from the road, that type of thing. Next one, I think this one is Fruit Cocktail. Yep, it's Fruit Cocktail. So this is all Calibrachoas, the Cabaret variety. So there's an orange, a yellow, and a pink in there. And you can see the size of these. They're still young. They've only been planted a couple weeks, but they're going to stay that size plus a little bigger. They're going to start covering up this pot. They're going to get down where you're not going to really even see the pot anymore. This one here is called Chemical Attraction. And this one has the brand new petunia in it, one of the Sky series. It's Electric Purple. And then it also has the Electric Purple Lobelia, which is that little small one there. That's a little bit of a trailer that's in there. And then it has the white Calibrachoas, and that's the bright white, which is the new Calibrachoa as well. So this one has a lot of the new varieties of flowers in it. This one here, this one is called Cottontail, and it's white on white on white. So you have a white petunia, you have a white Calibrachoa, and then you also have a white verbena. And the only care you have to do on this is a little bit of deadheading. The petunias, you're going to want to, a lot of those are going to fall off on their own. Same thing with the verbena. If you keep those kind of trimmed back, they'll be in good shape. Similar plants here in the Icaramba, except look, it has that Cyclops purple verbena in there with the white eye, really a standout. And then it has the white Calibrachoa as well. So that one's just got great color in it. And if you really like bright, the Biden My Time is a really good option. And this one has some unique plants in it. So it has the red verbena, which is fantastic, and then the deep yellow Calibrachoas. But the little surprise in there is going to be the Bidens in there. And you notice the yellow eye with the orange outside. So that's super colorful. This one stands out. I mean, from across the room, that red verbena against the yellow really pops. And it's just got a really nice look to it. Next door is Sunnyside, and so that one's going to have this petunia it's a light yellow or pale yellow with a darker yellow inside. Again, the yellow Calibrachoas and the white verbena. So these are all pretty easy care. They're all sun lovers. Over here, this one is called Sprinkles on Top. So it's all Calibrachoas, and you can see how those are coming together and just filling with color. And the Cabaret Calibrachoas are great for sending up a lot of flowers. Next door is one very similar. Instead of the purple, it has the orange Calibrachoas, and this one, the red Calibrachoa right now is going really strong. So we're really loving how that's looking in the baskets. And over here we have a Mexican heather. It's called Diana. And you can see this one's a little bit different. Really delicate small flowers. And grows, it's not more of a trailer, it's kind of more of an upright. One thing I should show you that's kind of nice, if you did get a hanging basket, you can always take the arms off. So these kind of pop out. You push them out, spread them, and then you're able to take those off. So you could use those as pots as they are, or you could use them as liner pots. So you can drop those into a bigger pot. And so it's a little trick that we often use so that you don't have to bring in a giant pot or move a giant pot with flowers in it. You can always put a liner pot in. And these are a decent size. They're a little bit bigger than a 12-inch basket or so, so they fit in a lot of different things. We did get our ferns in, so right now we have some Boston ferns. So those are looking pretty good. And those are going to just keep growing over the season. So you can see that. This one's an interesting one. So this one here, it's called Vermillionaire. And we put it in a basket like this, and it gets huge. So this is going to just keep growing. It's going to start trailing as it goes. And if you look really close, it has these trumpet-shaped flowers. They're orange, and they're really beautiful. And the hummingbirds go mad for this one. So if you want to give Mom the gift of hummingbirds, but you don't want to give her little live animals, this is going to be the next best thing. And so those little orange trumpet flowers are going to draw those hummingbirds right in. And it's called Vermillionaire. Let's see, I'm going to show you another kind of a unique variety that's new to us this year. It's these two here, the orange, and this is called Diva Pink. These are Calibrachoas, but they're the Cha-Cha variety. So the first thing you're going to notice, and I have it right here next to, let me back up a little bit. This is a regular Calibrachoa. This is the Cha-Cha, and you'll notice it's at least 20% bigger than the regulars, and it's got this great mounding habit. So fills in at the top, starts trailing at the bottom. It's a really good one, and this color is really unusual too. So if you look, you have that yellow center with the pink outside, but it has what's called color shifts. So it's going to have a couple different types of pink on one plant, which is, and these are just looking so good for Mother's Day. So we're thrilled that those are working out. And then its companion is going to be the tangerine, the Cha-Cha tangerine. This one, another big one, nice full plant loaded with flowers. So we have a bunch of those. We do have all these online right now, and we are doing where you can, we'll deliver to Alpena County or Presqu'île County. So those would be a $25 fee. If you're in the 49776 zip code, though, you get free delivery, our gift to our neighbors. And then, so you can always, and we have the option on our website for you to kind of leave a personal message or any of that kind of stuff. You can also pick your stuff up. So you could order it now and pick it up anytime between now and, say, Mother's Day or the day after Mother's Day. So that's always an option. But I'm just so happy that these Cha-Chas are looking as good as they do. And they're just so big and full. They're just a quick grower and doing really well. I can also show you a couple other things that Mom might like. There's this guy. I mean, isn't he the best? That's our rooster. They call him the Napa rooster. I think that must be a variety of rooster. I don't know too much. The other thing I want to show you is we do have some self-watering pots. So we have a gray variation, brown variation, and a white. So these are smaller hanging baskets than what some of the other ones are, but they do have, let's see if I can find one, they do have these little gauges in there where you can see the float, and if you can see the top of that red float, that means you've got enough water in there. So that's another thing. If Mom tends to forget to water, this is going to hold that water. It has a reservoir at the bottom. It's going to last a little longer. We also have a pot. It's a little bit different though. So we have two colors of it. Let's pull that out. So you can see, looks like a normal plastic pot, but it has the reservoir at the bottom and you can water it from the bottom. Or if you put extra water in, it's just going to collect it there and then overflow as well. So it's kind of a nice option, especially when we get into the really hot part of summer. So that's a good thing there. So this one here, this variety is more of the Spirits United version. Right now the red is taking over, but there are white and there's blue. So those are going to start taking off pretty soon too. So you're just seeing kind of Spirits United is hogging all the red at the moment. So we do have all kinds of other varieties. Oh, there's that Biding My Time. I mean, look at that red on there. So we do have a lot of other varieties, but we can't put them all online. So if you come in person, either this week or for Mother's Day, you're going to have a lot more options. But I wanted to make sure you just saw what you'll be getting if you order online, because it's so hard to order online otherwise. So these are all the varieties that we have up there. I suppose I can tell you what they are again. So there is the Foolproof Folly. That's the one that can take sun or shade and super low maintenance. And it's really forgiving if you forget a watering. So that's good. This one's called Ball Game, red, white, and blue. Fruit Cocktail. Chemical Attraction with the new varieties of Petunia, Calibrachoa, and Lobelia. So that's one that nobody else is going to have. Then there's also Cottontail, the white on white on white. Ay Caramba, which is kind of a fun name to say. And we see the white eye on the verbena. Biding My Time, which has, you don't see it quite yet, those Bidens are going to start getting bigger and trailing pretty soon. But that kind of adds another element to it, having that different type of flower. Sunny Side over here. Sprinkles on Top. Tropicali over here. Mexican Heather Diana, or it's also called Kufia, or Kufia, something like that. The Boston Fern, always a popular on the porch. That one needs shade though. You don't want to put that one in the sun. You're just going to lose your fern if you get too much sun. The Vermillionaire, so always a fun one. And I'm going to go back for anybody who missed the beginning where we talked about osteospermums. Those, and we did that for Eli, because Eli's a young gardener who chose specifically the Flower Power Spider Pink, which is just starting to open. It has a spoon petal, so the end of the petal is open and the rest of it tends to curl up, so it gets this nice cool kind of spider look. So that is courtesy of Eli. So remember, leave a comment for Eli if you can. Just say hi, Eli. Let him know that we love young gardeners and we're happy that he's out there spending some time in the garden. Then, unfortunately, we don't have any Sunshine Beauties quite yet. That's what it will look like, but it's just starting. Right now it looks very much like a sunflower. The Sunset is looking really good. We weren't able to get one of the varieties from last year, so the Sunset was a replacement, and it's looking pretty darn good. Voltage Yellow. This is where you're seeing the difference between when it first opens with the kind of more curled petals versus fully open. The Zion Red, which again on camera does not look as dark. It looks brighter. In person it actually looks a lot darker. Then we have Blushing Beauty, which I only have, we only are days away, maybe even 1 day away from an opening. And then we have the Rose, Tradewinds Rose. And then over here we have the Royal Purple, the trailing variety, and also the Blushing White, which is also semi-trailing. It's not quite as trailing as the other one. So there you go, gang. Let's see. So, and thanks to everybody who came out this weekend for our opening, and especially those people who came on Saturday when the Thursday truck arrived on Saturday right after we opened, which was very inconvenient, but we were so excited because, let me tell you this, we have some tropical surprises for you. So this, starting tomorrow, we're going to start adding some of those for Mother's Day as well. So there's going to be some surprises coming up in the next day or so. So keep an eye. I'll try to keep you updated this way and through our Facebook posts. Also, sign up for our email. Remember, you can order your Mother's Day stuff online. That we can either deliver it either on Thursday or Friday, or you could come pick it up on sometime this week or up till Mother's Day. So that's what I got to tell you about. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all pretty soon. Bye-bye.